let's talk about dating, specifically better dating flows and how to beat those deep fakes. And this has stemmed from some PR that we got from our friends at MCP Insights, mentioned last week. And they have teamed up with the Online Dating and Discovery Association, ODA, and they've developed MCP Date Scan, which is a new tool to test the flows and provide deep marketing insights and competitor analysis or intelligence within the online dating sector. So, Paul, interesting to see dating back on the VAS agenda.
Absolutely, that's why I flagged this up. I mean, essentially, it's a product launch and a good one from our friends at MCP Insight. They've taken, I think, a lot of the sort of work they've done at looking at compliance and the sort of flow of services in other realms of MVAS, and have done a specific sort of look at dating. It's not actually released yet; it's still in the testing phase, but it's going to be released shortly, I understand. And yeah, it's I think it's just interesting to sort of bring back that dating is with us still, because for a while it was a big service in telemedia, and it's sort of got kind of I guess sort of taken off into the mainstream by all those sort of companies like eHarmony and those sorts of things, where it became very, very big business. But seemingly it's back in all markets, not just sort of developed ones, but in the developing ones as well, as a sort of more of a telemedia MVAS service. And I think it's very timely that MCP are working with ODA, as you say, to develop a tool that helps those people wanting to run those kind of value added services around dating and run dating services themselves. How well they work, where there are potential sort of pitfalls and scams, what their competitors are doing, and all that kind of deep market information intelligence. So, not launched yet, but coming soon. Be really interested to see it in action, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to the people at MCP in the coming weeks to get a bit more detail about that. So, yeah, an interesting little story. It also coincides with another story we sort of touched on a couple of weeks ago on our website. Links will appear below. Looking at how there's a sort of growing amount of scams and frauds in dating, with things like, which I love the name, it's called Love GPT,
Mm.
which is a sort of chat GPT thing, which is sort of starting to create fake profiles and things. So I think it's quite timely that this tool has arrived for not just assessing how well your dating service might work, but I think also flagging up where some of the flaws and frauds might be.
But this is referencing a recent study, isn't it, by Delve AI,
That's right. Yeah.
who claimed that romance fraud took nearly 61 million victims or attacked
Pounds, yeah, 60 million pounds worth of money from victims
in,
worldwide.
sorry, in 2023. This is
Yeah.
scandalous. Um, and the total losses for the year, the previous 12 months are up by 33%. So this is obviously a target market for the bad actors,
Mm.
which is obviously a shame. However, as you rightly point out, nice to see dating back in the realms of VAS. I mean, we've started to see the likes of Dating Kings come back to World Telemedia. And of
Mm.
course, traditionally, when the telemedia sector was pretty much locked into premium rate billing and DCB, the model didn't really fit with the dating industry, I don't think, in terms of, certainly not in terms of long-term payments, because the numbers were just, just didn't really work. But I think now that the telemedia industry is embracing the whole range of alternative payment mechanisms, certainly dating and world telemedia and telemedia, in general, sit side by side, I think, perfectly. Talk a little bit about the second part of the story, which is the way that some very interesting research is coming about to actually help combat these deep fake images and ID frauds.
Well, yes, I sort of link these two together because there's a sort of this problem with well, dating is becoming a business. There's problems with sort of fraud, particularly sort of text-based fraud, people writing erroneous sort of profiles and things using Love GPT. But separately, there's another study that has come out from Portsmouth University's Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Research Centre, and they're looking at deep fake imagery and seemingly sort of AI has now got so good that it's creating these sort of deep fake images, deep fake videos of people. And this is, not just in dating. This is becoming rapidly a really big problem everywhere because we've sort of moved in some way from passwords and all that kind of thing towards biometrics and facial recognition and all that. But if you're able to create a fake person and create a fake ID around that fake face, you can create all these fakes.
Yeah.
And I think sort of it ties in nicely with what MCP are doing with dating, in that, of course, we're going to see fake profiles, and those profiles on dating sites are going to be used for scamming people. I mean, this is where the real problem lies. You create a fake, not just a fake profile, but a whole fake person with fake photos and fake videos. You can create fake the whole thing, and
Yeah.
that's a nightmare for luring people in and parting them from their money and breaking their hearts, I
Yeah.
imagine.
Fine.
And so the guys at Portsmouth University are working on a solution called Deep Guard, which uses their own proprietary AI to try and spot these fake images. And the story goes into more detail as to how that all works, with the sort of how it looks at sort of certain points in images, so you can see when they've been manipulated and created. But I think these two stories together show that we're having to use AI really sort of deeply to monitor and make sure that even sort of something as relatively simple you'd have thought as dating is just going to be a gateway for fraud. And yeah, I think it sort of just shows how sort of difficult this whole sort of thing has become.
Yeah, no question about it. And I'm sure that over the coming months, we're going to see a lot more news coming from some of our favourite anti-fraud providers, like Avena, like Impello, like MCP, whereby they're going to have to tackle this image of deep fakes because, of course, the telemedia industry is now. It's always been about the changing media landscape, but certainly in terms of traffic sources, where do we advertise our VAS services, and can we keep those channels clean? And I know that particular article mentions TikTok as being particularly vulnerable. And interestingly enough, we're actually talking to our friends at the TikTok meetup to be providing a number of sessions, specialist sessions, in Marbella on the 5th and 7th of October, highlighting what a great or what a great potential channel this is for advertisers of MVAS services. But again, on the flip side of that, it's going to be for sure an issue that whilst this does look like a very, very attractive channel, it is also going to be in the spotlight and very vulnerable to bad actors that are using deep fake images, of course, as well. And that will, of course, have a knock-on effect for any advertisers or merchants that are using those channels. So this is a really important area that I think needs to be monitored very closely. And I would urge anyone that is in the marketing space or the affiliate marketing space that it's pushing MVAS services and premium content, that they certainly should be in Marbella on the 5th and 7th of October to get a full update and find out exactly what's going on with regards to combating some of the areas that will threaten the industry and threaten some of these fantastic potential marketing channels. If you are keen to hear from us again, please do remember to like, subscribe, and send us a comment. We love to hear from you, and we will reference that, and it helps us to understand where your priorities lie in the future.